Billy got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube and all your favorite podcast players. I'm Chris Rucker along with my host E.J. Reed, and we together form Boot to the Face. E.J., how's it going?
Man, I can't complain too much. How's it going on your end?
I can complain. I hurt my knee at work last week. It could be a sprain or strained patella tendon. Well, it is a strained patella tendon, a sprained knee, and there possibly could be a fracture on my kneecap. They got to wait for the swelling to go down to see if they want to do another x-ray and check that out. But today's actually been the least amount of pain and everything I've been in. I went to physical therapy today, went to the gym, and did back and shoulders because, I'm in the middle of this 75-day workout plan. And I can't fucking stop just because, your knee hurts. So, yeah, off work for the next week, maybe two. Getting paid for it, thankfully. And just kind of chilling.
So I guess you had a pretty chill weekend then since your knee.
No, see, I heard it Tuesday, right? And I kept working. And Friday, I told my boss, I was like, yo, man, I hurt my knee. Like, I might have to go to the doctor. He was like, all right, well, just let me know. So I worked through Friday. And Friday, I was in a lot of pain. Like, I couldn't sleep Friday night. So Saturday morning, I woke up and went to urgent care. And they gave me 2 shots. The lady said it was going to be in my hip, EJ. It was in my ass. Whenever they say you're going to get a shot in your hip, it's your ass. She did it on both sides. The steroid, it didn't hurt. The Toradol or whatever the fuck it's called, she told me. She said, this is going to sting a little. And she had to, like, slowly squeeze it in because it's got to go in at a certain speed. All this other... I almost ran away. That shit was stinging so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I got pretty good relief after that. Like, it took the swelling down big time, which the swelling was the hard part. Like, that was stopping my knee from actually bending. And the last day or so, I've been a lot better. Like I said, I went to the gym today and went to physical therapy. Walked on it yesterday for 40 minutes on the treadmill. But yeah, it's a slow getting old, man. Getting old.
Yeah, better get old than the alternative.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so that was my weekend. It's fucking me and the girlfriend and my daughter went and saw Red 1 with The Rock in it though on Saturday. So that's a pretty good movie. I've seen mixed reviews on it, but I liked it.
I guess it was. I know it's supposed to be more action. So I guess it was action mixed with a little corny.
Mixed with... I mean, it's a Christmas movie. Like, what was people expecting? Yeah, it's fucking Santa Claus is what's his name? J.K. Rowling or something like? No, that's the writer, isn't it? J.K. Simmons.
No. Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
And he's all fucking skinny and ripped, apparently, eating a good diet. Like, he ain't your regular fat ass Santa Claus, which makes sense at the end when you see him going and like delivering all the presents and shit. And Krampus was in it, and it was just a bunch of Christmas stuff. Like, they put all the Christmas stuff together. Like, I don't know what you expect when you got elves and Santa Claus. Like, what people wanted out of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you get what you pay for, so to speak. nice little Christmas movie. You're not gonna get The Godfather. People expect it to be like a masterpiece, I guess. But you know,
You you said get what you pay for. Let me tell you this. I love living in Atlanta sometimes, but sometimes I hate it. We went to the movie at the Battery, which is the little like party area around where the Braves play baseball, and apparently there was some kind of something going on there where there was no fucking parking. We had to pay $40 to park to go to the movie.
That's absurd. That's like prices when you park at for like sporting events.
Right, which is basically what it was. Because we were parking there. They had, I guess it was a bunch of Christmas parties going on. I mean, they had there's like a spot we always park in. It's free for 2 hours, and then it's $10 from like 2 to 4 hours, and it goes up. All those were full, and we had to. By the time we got through all of those parking lots, it was like we got like 5 minutes to get to this fucking movie, which I'd already paid like $60 for. You know what I mean? So going out's expensive. Just doing regular shit's expensive.
And I feel like there's no like rhyme or reason for a lot of these prices. You could chalk it up to inflation. It plays a part a little bit, but inflation doesn't factor that much over the past 10 so years. I feel like people could just charge whatever they want to charge with no rhyme or reason. Like,
Definitely.
and people are gonna pay for it. That's why it keeps happening. Like, if you said 60s for a parking spot, people will pay it just because people are lazy and want convenience.
Yeah, because when you get there, you don't have a choice. You're like, fuck, I've already bought these tickets, and the only way for me to go is to pay for parking. But like you're saying, the inflation shit, I think that's bullshit. People just use that as an excuse. It's like I was talking a couple months about Subway, right? Like I went to Subway and I ordered a chicken bacon ranch foot long. This was like 4 or 5 months ago, and got 2 cookies and a drink, and they rang it up, and it was $22. For a sandwich, 2 cookies and a drink. And I was like, wait a minute. Y'all used to have a song, $5 foot long. Now the foot long's fucking $15. What changed? It's the same meat. It's the same bread. It's the same ingredients. It's the same shitty workers with shitty attitudes. And yet this sandwich has gone up 150%. Like, why?
It's crazy. And all right, we know we're not a political show, but I don't know if it's going to get any better because they're talking about deporting people. A lot of these, like farmer jobs, a lot of the jobs that people don't want to do might be getting deported. Prices might be going up even more.
That's you're right. Like we don't do the politics and shit like that, but this is more economics than politics. But I always think about that when they talk about like deporting people and people are like, they're taking our jobs. Like, I'm sorry. I don't see any of y'all wanting to work in the kitchen and get paid fucking $10 an hour under the table, because that's how these people are making, not the people that are getting deported, but like the employers and shit like that. That's how they're making money. They're not paying them a legal wage. They're paying them under the table, and that's how they're making their money. So like, yeah, sure, they're taking your jobs. I can't wait to see you out there fucking, not to be racist or anything. I can't wait to see you out there cutting grass. You know what I mean? Like for way below minimum wage.
And it's gonna bitch can complain more, and they're not gonna take a lot of the jobs like those.
Right.
Like
then
super
people
blue
start
collar
jobs
jobs.
themselves.
It's gonna be interesting.
Cut my own grass. Fuck that.
It's interesting. We'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, man, it sounded like you had an interesting weekend. I got back from Mexico yesterday. Yeah.
Oh damn!
Mexico was always a good time. Yeah. Shout out to
doing in Mexico.
Shout out to Chris Sanders, one of my co-hosts on Haymaker. He got married.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
Yeah, nice resort. I didn't stay at the resort because I kind of decided to go last minute because got
imagine that.
A lot of stuff going on, but past months I decided to pull the trigger. But the resort they were staying on, it was nice, like 5-star. It was Puerto Morelos, so it's about 30-minute drive from like actual city of Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was nice, man. It was like a smaller. I wouldn't say smaller, but he only invited a certain amount of people. Like I said, it was like 50 people, maybe 60 might be pushing it, maybe 50, 40. It was a
That's a good
smaller
amount of
venue.
people though to travel to another country for a wedding.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture like how many seats were on each side. It wasn't that many rows. So yeah, probably 40 to 50. Yeah, like destination, like a lot of people, it's pricey traveling for like a destination wedding. But I don't know. I feel like going that route, especially in Mexico, when the prices are cheaper, to do like a wedding like that would be kind of a cheaper option than to do like a grand wedding stateside where you have to invite everybody and their mom, and the wedding planning stuff is expensive as far as like menus and stuff and dinner. And I feel like with the all inclusive like that, it's like all there, all in one place. You don't have to worry about getting different venues for the reception. And but yeah, it was a good time. I stayed at a resort about 5 minutes from where everybody was staying, so it wasn't bad. I just got an Uber. I didn't know Uber worked in Mexico. I got an Uber, and
Yeah, I didn't know you could Uber from resort to resort either. Like the only two resorts I've stayed at, you had to be staying at that resort in order to get through the gates there.
oh, it was a pain in the ass for me to get in, but I was able to get in. Like especially Saturday when they had like a little meet and greet and to like explain everything about the wedding. That was the more pain in the ass. The actual wedding day wasn't as bad because like they had the
They
list in
already
order
kind of
and
got your
whatnot.
name on the list.
Yeah, yeah. But that first day, yeah, like you said, it was a pain in the ass. But it was dope, man.
It's funny you say that because when I went to Mexico in October, me and my girlfriend were talking, and she was just like looking shit up. She was like looking up prices of weddings and destinations, and we were talking like if that were to ever happen, that would be a good option because one, you would weed out all the little like hanger-ons that really don't need to be at your wedding. Like people that need to be at your wedding will make a plan to go if they need to. They'll get a passport. They'll fly down there. You're paying for everything else. They just got to pay for the plane ticket, right? Like, and the price wasn't awful. And you did everything, like you said, on the resort, all inclusive. Like, honestly, it'd probably be way cheaper to do it that way. And you probably have a better time because you're at the
Yeah,
resort. You don't have to go anywhere. Shit, you're already on your honeymoon. Like, yeah,
yeah. And like, cause I was like curious, and I was looking at some of like the packages online. All of them were like less than 10 G. So,
yeah,
and
it's not bad
some,
at all, man. It's the destination wedding thing, like I never thought it would be as cheap as, at least for Mexico. I never thought it'd be as cheap as
yeah,
it was, but I always thought like a destination wedding, you got to pay a shitload of money. But then again, like I said, it's all about getting people to commit to that date and to getting their shit together and getting their ticket and actually going. But like, who the fuck doesn't want to go to Mexico?
yeah.
Like,
And,
give me a
and
reason.
if you give somebody a year and they still can't get this shit together, and well, I guess it's not meant to be for them to come.
Right.
Yeah, for anybody thinking about tying a knot, that'd probably be the best option.
Cheaper and way, but and Mexico's fun, man. And then
Yeah,
there ain't a lot of times where the weather's bad. Like even when it's raining, it's still not the worst. It's just like,
yeah. It threatened to rain like probably like 15 minutes before the wedding. Like two drops came down, like, oh man, but then it just stopped after like a few drops. It just stopped, and the weather was perfect after that. So
I
like
feel
you
like
said, it
December's a
was
good time to go too. You get away from the cold and wherever you live at.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Nice 80
I don't know how
degree
cold it
weather.
was in Mexico, but what'd you say?
Nice 80-degree weather.
Oh yeah, that's pool weather.
Yeah, definitely. I was chilling at the beach. Not too long, no, but because it was stuff
How
to
long were
do,
you
but
down there?
not that long. I got there Friday. I had to wait till 3, so I put my bag at the desk. I got there at noon. Put my bag at the desk and walked around some at the little town. Like a little quiet, smaller town. Got me some tacos and some margaritas. I drank a lot.
So you didn't
And
stay
then,
at a resort. You stayed at a hotel.
yeah, it wasn't an all inclusive. I've done the all inclusive because I went back in 2022 and 2021. I've done the all inclusive, and I feel like it's kind of not a rip off because it's convenient where you could just eat whenever you want and drink wherever you want. But if you don't plan on eating that much, because once I got out of the off the plane, I got to had like a little liquor kiosk at the airport, and the bottle it was a cheap bottle, like 1,800. It was a nice size bottle. It was less than $40. I was like, all right, I'll do that. That lasted me the whole weekend. So I mean, like I said, it's pros and cons to all inclusive, but no, I just did like a regular hotel, but it was a nice one. Like my room was right outside the beach. Like you could step outside my door and the beach was right there. So, yeah, man.
I always like, you always hear the stories about Mexico and shit like that. You want to stay on the resort because if you go off the resort, it's dangerous as hell. I never even thought to like get a regular hotel or something like that and get on the beach. But last time we went, my friend Nate and his wife Amanda, we've left the resort before too. We went to the water park, but we had a shuttle. But they just took a taxi, I think, and went into town and petting tigers and doing all kind of other shit. And I'm like, you motherfuckers are crazy. Like, I am not leaving this resort. Like, we paid all this money. Shit. I mean, it wasn't that expensive, but it was like the beach was right here. We got a party pool. We got all the alcohol, the food we want. Like, why am I leaving?
Yeah, like I said, it's pros and cons to the resort, but it's nice exploring some in the area because you don't get to leave the country a lot of the time. So feel like you should try a lot of different ways to do it, especially if you plan on going back to the resort one time, maybe do regular hotel one time. Variety was the spice of life, they say.
Yeah, authentic Mexican tacos are they're a different animal than
that
bullshit they serve at the resorts.
Yeah, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, but with the authentic Mexican food, they use a lot less like bullshit and salt and sodium and all of that. It's just more natural.
I was so mad. We went when we went to the water park. They had our tickets came with free lunch or whatever. Not free. I mean, you paid for it, but it was like authentic Mexican food. And my dumb American ass is walking around like, y'all have queso? Anybody? Y'all got queso? They like, what the fuck is queso?
Yeah.
Like, y'all ain't got queso cheese? They're like, no, bro. Like, sit your ass down, put some sauce on there, and shut up.
Yeah. We Americanize like all of the authentic food and just make it. It's good and tasty, but it's less authentic and probably not the best for you. Like that and Chinese food, like American Chinese food versus like authentic Chinese food.
Man, I tell you what, that first time we went to Mexico, like the food tasted so much better without all the bullshit that we put in it. Like even the cheesecake they had, I was fucking in love with that cheesecake. It was so like just sugary and all the other bullshit, but it was still so good. And it was like, this is why other countries are in way better shape than we are, because they still eat good food, but it's healthier for them.
Mm-hmm. Even like the margarita, like you expect like to get like some sugary sweet margarita. No, it's like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's not really sugary at all. I don't know if you had like a margarita. Yeah, basic. That's it. Yeah, lime, tequila, and water, I guess. Yeah.
Oh shit, EJ, we bullshit enough, man. Let's get to some wrestling. That's what the people came here for, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, let's get to it, man.
What you want to start off with? We got plenty of things we could talk about. We got the WWE transfer portal. We did our own little AEW brand split draft with rumors going that AEW may be going that way, and honestly, I think they should. Power ranking, street clothes, wrestler of the week. Like we got a bunch of ways we can go. EJ, I'll let you guide the way.
Yeah, well, let's just kick it off with the transfer portal.
Well, it was announced that WWE is open for business, and this comes with the rumors that Netflix has told WWE they want Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and I think Rhea Ripley all on Raw. Now, you already signed the deal. You don't get to tell us who the fuck you want now. Like, you're paying for WWE Raw, and these are the people we got on there. But with Netflix coming up soon, what, 2, 3 weeks from now? Now all of a sudden they just happen to open up this WWE transfer portal, and yeah, I'm intrigued, but I don't know. I'm one of those weirdos that like the draft.
Hmm. But I feel like the draft has been watered down and they never go the way that I expect them to. So I don't know. I'm not mad at the transfer portal, but I do have a few questions. Well, maybe even just one question. Are they getting ready to draft or are they still having the draft?
Shit, I don't know. That is a good
And
question. They haven't said any, as far as I know, they haven't said anything about it. They've only talked about this transfer window being open
how long is it supposed to be open for?
till somebody closes it. I don't know. Ain't nobody been transferred yet either. Like, it's only been talked about. You know, you see Cody hanging out with fucking Adam Pierce, and uh, who was it hanging out with Nick Aldis? And Carmelo got mad at him.
Hmm. It's slipping my mind.
Damn, who was that? It was somebody from Raw hanging out with Nick Aldis, and Carmelo was like, "What the fuck? You got time for him?"
Was it Sammy?
Well, it was Gunther.
It was Gunther.
Yeah, it was Gunther
Mm.
hanging out with Nick Aldis.
Oh, well, another thing about it, I like how they're trying to mimic the college football transfer portal. So that's like pretty, I guess, dope that they're trying to make it mirror real life sports and whatnot.
Yeah, like
But
FSU.
FSU, Free Shoe University, as Steve Spurrier would say.
Man, you hear their quarterback, their 5-star quarterback they got that's supposed to start next year, decided he don't want to be there no more.
I saw that. Did he choose what school that he wanted to be at?
He just said he's entering the portal, and apparently it came out that they were negotiating, and he kept wanting more money, and FSU said, "Well, fuck it, bye."
He was like publicly asking for more money.
No, this came out behind the scenes, like the
Oh,
negotiations were. He said, "I want to leave," and they were like, "All right, well, let's talk." And they negotiated. He agreed, and then he came back and was like, "Nah, I need more." And they were like, "You haven't even done anything yet." And he's like, "You see this trash you put out there this year? You need me." So he hadn't left yet, though. They're saying they're still going to decide whether or not he. Now that that story comes out, it's supposed to make him look bad if he leaves.
yeah. And I'm all about NIL and the players getting their money, but I'm still not uh, well read on how the revenue sharing works. I still need to do my research. I don't understand how the revenue sharing works, especially with like other sports. With how many other sports you have at the school? I haven't really been able to find like a breakdown on how that revenue sharing works because the schools could directly pay the players now
Mm.
on top of NIL.
I mean, I don't know the economics of it. I don't care either. I think the players should have been getting played a long time ago because these schools are making so much money on the backs of these football and basketball players. Like March Madness and college football playoffs make so much money for these schools. Like, and these kids and all these people that are like, oh, they get a free room and board and degree and all that. They still got to work for the degree, whether you believe it or
Yeah.
not. They still got to go to college just like everybody else does. And if college is supposed to prepare you for your job and you want to be
Hmm.
an NFL player, what better way to get
Hmm.
prepared for it than to play football and get paid? It's like a fucking paid internship.
Yeah, and just like pro sports, you got some players that are gonna be eye rolly about it and prima donnas about it, but that happens on the pro level too. So yeah,
Yep.
the cream always rises to the top though. But glad my school doesn't have to worry about a quarterback for the first time in a little while. So uh 2025 should be interesting, but your Bulldogs are got a bye. I watched it at the hotel. Uh, it was who they lose to late in the season. It was a little shaky for a minute, but your Bulldogs were able to bounce back, beat Texas, and that first round bye.
Yeah, that was I don't like to cheer for injuries, and I don't cheer for injuries, but I was not upset when Beck went out. I was like, okay, let's see what Stockham has. And he played pretty good. And they got a month before they got to play again to work out. Honestly, like, and this is like famous last words, but there's no reason why Georgia shouldn't end up in the championship with the bracket that they got.
Who they get the winner of? I forgot.
They get the winner of Indiana and
Hey, Notre Dame. Mm.
is it Notre
Yeah, I
Dame?
would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, I
like
would like
the
that
other
matchup.
bracket that they're in charge, the other bracket, the semifinals, like it's not that tough of a game either, regardless of the three teams that come out. So like I don't know. If they don't end up in the championship, it's a disappointment, I think, regardless of who the quarterback is.
Yeah, it's pros and cons about having quarterfinals because it's gonna be so much harder for teams to win now. But it'll show like if you're that good, then you'll be able to run the gauntlet, similar to
Yeah.
NFL. Like you said, if it's preparing you for the pro level, that's how the pros do it.
It's 4 more games. You want the title or not?
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna end up being Texas and Georgia again for the third time.
And that could that's a possibility that could happen. The way the brackets are.
Yeah,
Gross,
Texas on the other
gross.
side. Yep.
I hope I don't want Texas to make it. I need to see them have some growing pains being in the SEC. So we'll see how that shakes out. But back to the WWE transfer portal. Um, just off the top of your head, we don't have to name a bunch of people. Who do you think is going to end up transferring?
I think they'll probably bring the Bloodline to Raw and Cody to Raw and send
Hmm.
Judgment Day and Gunther to SmackDown.
Yeah, I think they want Netflix wants that big splash. Man, so you take the Bloodline and Cody. You don't think they would leave one over them over
Well,
there to
they'll
SmackDown?
leave Bloodline 2.0 over there. They'll take Roman, Jimmy, and put
Mm.
them back with Sammy and Jay on Raw. Because now you got all these. You got Drew McIntyre already mad at Roman and attacking Jay Uso. So that could be a feud coming down the pike as Roman versus Drew. Uh, Seth Rollins got beef with Roman. You know, all these people are mad at Roman, but they're all on Raw talking shit. Well, now here comes the tribal chief making his way to fucking Monday Night Raw now. Talk that shit now.
Uh, I'm even though doesn't really matter at all. I'm weird when it comes to like aesthetics and stuff. And I like a little bit of chaos. I want them to like split those belts up. That's why you renamed them like the women's world title and the world tag team championships. I hope they
Yeah.
like mix and match those on different shows. I think that would be dope.
Well, when I said Judgment Day, I meant Liv Morgan too. She's a part of Judgment Day. So she'd go to SmackDown, and that would in turn send Nia
Well, that
Jax
was
or
send all.
whoever.
Yeah, that was just send all the belts. Like it used to be the same thing because you say Gunther, he has the world title. Judgment Day has the tag team titles, and Liv has the.
And the
It'd be the
women's
same.
title. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, they don't have the Intercontinental Women's Championship or the IC title. Who's got the IC title? Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, so they'd send them over there, and then you send Cody and DIY and Nia Jax to Raw.
And what about you said they did? Yeah, and it just be the same. It would just be the same thing. It'd be just swapping all the champions from Raw to SmackDown.
Yeah, but too many
Like I said,
people for New York Championship. They just happen to have the belts.
I think Judgment Day are gonna lose the tag team title soon. So when that happens, it'd be interesting to see how it mix and matches after that. Like you said, you got these women's big card titles now too. So we'll see. I think, like you said, I think definitely Gunther and Cody. Roman, you said Roman, Drew maybe, and Roman Punk. I'm trying to just think of who would Roman beef with over there on Raw. Seth,
Drew,
yeah,
Seth, Punk.
yeah, definitely option. But then who would the Bloodline be in feud with?
They wouldn't have to. They didn't even. They won't even have to stay together. I mean, New Day are heels now. You could always go Usos and New Day again.
Excuse me, I meant Bloodline 2.0. Who would they go against on SmackDown?
Judgment Day.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
That fits the Bloodline 2.0 and Judgment Day 2.0. They're both knockoff versions of their original selves. Why not feud with each other?
I want to see Bloodline 2.0 go after a baby face for some reason. But I guess this is just speculation at this point. I guess we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah. But yeah, the transfer portal's open in WWE. Why don't we do this since we're talking about splitting up rosters and everything? Let's talk about this AEW brand split that's rumored. Now, I don't know how big the rumor is. I just know it's picking up a lot of steam. It's been talked about by people that work in the industry, radio shows, podcasts. Like, I didn't know anything about it, so I started hearing about it more and more often. I started looking, and then I got to looking at AEW's roster. Man, their roster is big as fuck. So then my wheels got to turning, and I thought, if I'm Tony Khan, which I'm not, I would split the fucking rosters up. I'd have floating champions. I mean, they got enough belts to float them. But if you're the world champion, you go to both sides, just like SmackDown and Raw used to do. If you're the tag champs, you go to both sides. You're the women's champ, both shows. You don't have to be there every week, just like they are now. But I would make everybody else exclusive to either Collision or Dynamite. And what we're going to do, EJ, is we're going to take 8 male and female acts on each show. So 8 for Dynamite for men and women, and 8 for Collision for men and women. And we're going to make our own rosters.
See, my rules, I was thinking a little bit different. I was thinking the world champions, the women and men float, but all the mid-card titles are exclusive.
Yeah, I guess whoever gets drafted with the title. But as far as our little exercise, we're just going to draft 8 and see what we come up with. I mean, you already got yours. I'll pick mine. We can pick the same people. This is just the list that I came up with off the top of my head against whatever list you came up with.
Did you want to go back and forth?
No, let's see. You could do your Dynamite men first, and then I'll do my Dynamite men, and then I'll do my Dynamite women, and you can do your women, and then you could do men Collision. We'll do it like that. But you just do your whole men's Dynamite team.
My men's Dynamite team, I have Swerve Strickland at number 1. I guess this ain't really in a particular order, but I'll put it in the order that I wrote them down. Swerve, number 1. Private Party, your tag team champions, number 2. Okada, your continental champion, number 3. Inosuke Takeshita, your international champion, number 4. The Elite, I don't know which iteration. I guess since I have Okada at 3, I guess it's just Bucks and Perry. MJF, number 6. I got the Hurt Syndicate, number 7. And to round out my Dynamite roster, I have freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Okay. We got some of the same picks on here. Starting with pick number 1. I picked Swerve. Again, no particular order. It's just the first name I wrote down. When I made mine, I drew my list side by side, and I just kind of went 1 to 1, 1 to 1 instead of making it all on one show. But I got Swerve. I got the Hurt Syndicate. I got the Death Riders because eventually I want those 2 factions to go at it. I got Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Ricochet, Undisputed Kingdom, and Will Hobbs.
That's Dynamite.
That's Dynamite. Those are my top 8 male acts on Dynamite.
Are we going women Dynamite now?
And my women's Dynamite team or roster would be Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, Thunder Rosa, Queen Aminata, Harley Cameron, she's fucking hilarious, and Julia Hart. Those are my women for Dynamite.
Excuse me. My women Dynamite, I have TBS champion Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa, Anna Jay, Deanna Perrazzo, Queen Amanada, Hikaru Shida, and then I have them as a tag team, the Outcasts, Harley Cameron and Paige.
I wanted to get Paige on here, but she's been gone for a while, so I didn't even think of it.
Saraya.
But yeah,
I don't know. I was blanking
that's
on
a
that.
good that's a good one. Picking the Outcasts.
And I preface it. I didn't include people that are mainly on ROH. Would include Athena, so she's not on Athena's not on the list because if she was available, she would have definitely been a top pick.
Well, I guess you didn't take it that way, but when I looked on the AEW roster, they had ROH people on there too. So I took everybody that was on their roster and put them in the portal.
Well, I didn't, so we'll have some different picks.
Who are your collision men?
So my collision men, like I could have used like this pick and rolled it up in one, but I didn't want to do that. So I got Moxley at number 1, and then at number 2 I got the Death Riders. So I could have put them all in one, but I didn't want to do that. Moxley AEW champion, Death Riders your trios champion. So that's 1 and 2. 3 I have Ospreay. 4 I have Daniel Garcia, your TNT champion. Number 5, I got Bangman Gang, Bullet Club Gold, and I am including Jay White in that. 6, I feel like he's probably one of the biggest pillars of the company, Hangman Page. 7, I have the Undisputed Kingdom, and I looked on the website. It does include Adam Cole, so I have Adam Cole and MJF separate. I did that on purpose because I'm tired of whatever they got going on. And then 8, I have Darby Allin that round out the collision.
1, 2, 3. We got some similar picks. My collision team, the Elite. That's all of them. Okada, Perry, and the Bucks. Ospreay, which you had on yours. I put the Callis family on here because I gotta have Kyle Fletcher on TV, which includes
I thought about
Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita. Danny Garcia, your TNT champion. MJF on Collision. Also got Bullet Club Gold, and I got Hangman. And my last pick, Kenny Omega.
I guess he's not an Elite. So no Darby Allin on either one of your shows, huh?
No, I got Darby on Dynamite.
Oh, for some reason I wasn't paying attention. My bad.
OC, Darby, and Ricochet, all 3 in a row right there.
What
And then
what
for
hurt
my women
heart?
on.
Oh, sorry.
What's
I was
that?
gonna say what hurt my heart. I had to make a decision. I could have rolled up some of those people, like you said. I could have did it to Kesher. I mean, I didn't put the rest of the Don Callis family. I could have did that, but I could have did like the Elite and Okada and Moxley and Death Riders. That probably took a spot about Ricochet. Like I thought about putting Ricochet on there, but barely missed it.
My women on Collision, your AEW Women's Champion Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa. Hopefully she's not going back to Japan. Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, your ROH TV champion. Athena, your ROH Women's Champion. Chris Statlander, because I want her and Mercedes to get away from each other. Willow Nightingale. I actually took Hikaru Shida off my list and put Willow on there. And then Sky Blue.
Okay. So there's some omissions on, I guess, both our lists. You got include some people that I don't have, and then vice versa. I have Mariah May, your women's champion. Tony Storm, number 2. Willow Nightingale, 3. Julia Hart, number 4. Jamie Hayter, 5. Camille, I have 6. I got Dr. Britt Baker 7 and Marina Shafir at 8. So I didn't have any Sky Blue because she's injured, so that's the only reason I didn't have her on there.
Yeah.
You didn't have Britt Baker.
No, wouldn't either.
Very interesting. You said you wanted to keep Jamie Hayter and who apart?
No, I wanted to keep Statlander and Mercedes apart for a minute.
Why?
I don't know. They had a really good match. I don't want to run that back just yet. I want to let that breathe for a year or two before we bring them back together. That match they had was really good. The feud, not so much. But you could build up Statlander to come back at Mercedes later on. Meanwhile, Mercedes taking on Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, Julia Hart, all the people on her side of the roster now. While Statlander's fighting Mariah May and Red Velvet and Athena, Willow. You can build them both up.
I put Mercedes and Statlander because I would want to do a rematch sooner than later. And I put Mariah and Tony on the same show because I think they still have unfinished business.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter and this is on a side note. Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart. I'm curious to see how that plays out because I don't think either one of them deserves to lose right now.
I mean, Julia just got back. Jamie just got back too, so you're right. Like, Jamie left as the champion. Well, she got beat. She wrestled a match that was injured, and so did Julia Hart. They both wrestled injured and basically got smoked in their matches. And when they come back, neither one of them are in the title picture anymore. Somebody said Jamie Hayter's got Donna from that 70s show vibes now, and I can't not see it anymore.
First said that she had Becky Lynch vibes. Now they're saying Donna from that 70s show. She just got every redhead vibes, I guess.
Yeah, and I was calling her Boogie Nights Jamie Hayter because she looked like Roller Girl.
She's trying to go for a specific look, and
I don't know what was wrong with her regular. What was wrong with her other? I mean, look, you got the right to change whatever you want. If you want to. I don't know. She looked like such a badass when she left, and now she just looks like. Honestly, she does look like Becky Lynch a lot. Like the red hair, the bright fucking color onesie. Like that's the way Becky Lynch was dressing before she turned into the man.
I don't know, man. Like maybe she just wanted to switch it up. But
yeah,
going back to this possible roster split, like how do you think it would benefit the company as a whole? Because pretty much right now they already have like a unofficial full split. You see pretty much a lot of the same acts on either show. Like you usually see FTR on Collision and Bullet Club on Collision. Thunder is on Collision a lot. Having like a more harder split, you think, I guess that would draw more eyes to Collision if you know the champions on the show? I don't know. I'm trying to.
I think so. I think Collision is struggling because at least on Dynamite, you're going to get the bigger stars. Like you at least know that. You don't know which ones, but you're going to get the bigger stars. On Collision, it's kind of like, maybe, do I really want to buy a ticket for Collision when I don't know who's going to be there? Like, but if you have a hard brand split, now I know. Like, all right, I might not see Okada on Saturday, but Mercedes will be here on Saturday. I might not see Athena on Wednesday, but fucking MJF will be here on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you have a more permanent roster for each show, as opposed to this is our mothership show, as Dusty Rhodes used to call Saturday night, right? Dynamite's the mothership. Everybody's gonna be there. Collision, you just might get whoever ain't tired. Whoever didn't want to go home and whoever wanted to work that weekend. And so, like, yeah, you'll get good matches out of it, but are you going to get star power? Or are you going to get, like, storyline progression on Collision?
I mean, it seems like lately they've been trying to do more storyline stuff. I don't know if you saw on Saturday, they had Moxley come out there. So, yeah, maybe they're just dipping their toes a little bit and maybe they'll real go with this hard split in this new year now that they're on Max. So
And I mean,
yeah,
when Collision first came and they had Punk and Daniel Bryan in charge of it, like Collision was that shit.
yeah, yeah. That when it was Punk and his guys and the Elite and the other guys on the other side.
Yeah, maybe we
Pretty
can
much
get it
split.
back to having somebody else writing one of the shows besides Tony writing the whole thing, and they can get into a little friendly competition with each other. Like,
He
who's
don't need
getting
to
the best
rewrite.
ratings? Who's getting the better fucking attendance numbers and all that? You know, you don't need to be in competition with WWE. You don't need to be in competition with NXT. Collision needs to be in competition with Dynamite, and Dynamite with Collision. And you need to be trying to make each other better that way to grow the company bigger. Because right now, it's not working. Numbers are declining left and right. So you got to figure something out. I think a brand split would be great for them, and I'm hoping that they do it.
Well, Tony don't need to be in charge of any writing, but I digress. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what the early days of Raw and SmackDown. They were competing against each other with the SmackDown 6 or whatnot. So maybe that'll give a little spark. But we'll see if the rumors are true.
I hope so. Let's go ahead and go street clothes. Wrestler of the week, EJ. I'm
Who
not
you
gonna
got?
lie, I had mine selected early in or late last week, early in the week of Boot to the Face, but I had to
Mm-hmm.
change that shit. 'Cause last
You
night,
did.
EO Sky was looking fly. My street clothes wrestler of the week, EO Sky, your number one contender to WWE Women's World Championship as she wrestles Liv Morgan this coming Saturday night on Saturday night's main event.
What EO come out in?
She had on some little shorts, some boots. She came out and did a run in, drop kicking motherfuckers left and right. Little white shirt. Her and Rhea standing up at the end, lifting the title up together. Why Rhea was worried about the title, I don't know. She ain't in the fucking title picture.
You said Rhea's not in the title picture?
No. It's EO versus Liv Morgan 1-on-1 on Saturday.
Rhea's always in the title picture though, even
She ain't
maybe
Saturday.
immediate. No, not. But I don't see the title changing hands. But I may be wrong. I've been wrong before. Um, yeah, solid pick. My street clothes rest of the week. It's probably like fourth, maybe even fifth time winning on my list. But the man's got drip, man. I gotta go with Mr. Seth freaking Rollins.
I thought you were gonna say Gunther. I was about to say
He's
Gunther
one of
looked like
the,
he just got done doing last minute Christmas shopping at the local mall and just walked out
yeah.
there with the belt on.
And they're trying to transition Gunther into being a baby face so that dress down. Like you said, that's what Cody needs to do. Cody shouldn't be walking out in suits if you're a baby face, but that's what they're doing with Gunther, having them dressed down. And I don't know. I don't know. Gunther's a baby face. The crowd wasn't really into that. And not sure if I'm convinced. Like some people just need to be, they're just heels, just perpetual heels. Like Triple H is a perpetual heel and not using the DX cheat code. DX every time he's in DX, that's a cheat code for being in the face. But non-DX Triple H is a heel. Same with Gunther. He's just the character. Just even though it's kind of stereotypical, the foreigner to be the heel, but he's just so good at just being an asshole and just a force. It just dominates people.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I don't
I
think Gunther
digress.
should be a face anytime soon. But
You're trying.
I mean, he
I don't know why.
attacked Damien Priest. That wasn't very baby face-ish.
Yeah, so they've been like flirting back and forth. I think they may be testing the waters because, like you said, he attacked Damien. That's not a very face thing to do. But
And I don't mean to take over your street clothes rest of the week, but like, just because Damien Priest came running out there, how does he get added to the fucking title match?
I didn't understand that as well. Why are they doing Finn like that? Yeah, that didn't make sense at all. But like yeah, it's triple threat match now. I guess I don't know why. Just because he ran out. Yeah, he just had one at Survivor Series. That's what I really don't get. He just got a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
No rhyme or reason, but I'm sure the match is gonna slap. But yeah, Seth, it's my street clothes rest of the week. He had looked leatherish, all black suit, but it looked like leather suit, like a leather suit, and he had like the feathers on, like the it was like
Was
teal
it black?
feathers
Why
he
am
was
I
wearing.
thinking it was purple this week?
Maybe my color's off. It looked teal. It looked no, maybe my color. It looked black to me. The suit he had on.
I could be
And
wrong. I just go ahead.
no, that's all I got. And like I said, he had like the crazy ruffles on with the teal ruffles on.
I was just gonna say he was out there spitting facts about Punk, and that crowd did not give a fuck. They were like, "Yeah,
What?
okay, Punk's only here for the money." CM Punk, and they were still chanting his name. I'm like, that's got to be fucking annoying because everything Seth was saying was the truth. Like, Punk left, he shit on the company for 10 years, he failed at the UFC, he failed in AEW, and WWE cut him a big ass check, and he came running back with his tail between his legs, even though he tried everything he could to like tear the company down. Seth said all that, and the crowd was like, CM Punk. They're like, we don't give a fuck about that, Seth. CM Punk is back. Punk
Yeah.
was talking that shit too with Jackie Redmond, so, talking about Seth was the second stringer, and now the starter's back. He can go sit his ass down. I was
He
like,
said
damn.
that last week.
He said that this past Monday, yesterday.
He was there. For some reason, I didn't think he was there.
He did a backstage interview with Jackie Redmond.
Man, I'm tripping. I watch. I
This was
watch all of
before
Raw.
the Rollins interview.
Man, I don't know what I was doing. I must have been eating, chowing down. But yeah, I mean, like you said, they said fuck all that. They picked who they want. They with Punk, and no matter how much fats you spit, crowds like what they like. That's what you risk putting. I don't know what Seth is. He seems like he's a baby face, but he's almost like one of those shades of gray type of characters at this point.
I mean, the guy did try to blind Rey Mysterio and half his family, and then he tried to kill Cody Rhodes.
Man, you talk about old news.
I mean, he
Years
bringing
ago.
up all the shit Punk did 10 years ago.
That was Monday Night Messiah. He was doing that for a reason. It had a
That's what Punk
purpose.
said. He said he had a purpose too. If it wasn't for him leaving, WWE wouldn't be this great fucking company it is to work for now.
No, he can't take credit for all of that.
But you know he will.
Yeah, of course. That's what Phil does, man. Come on.
We got power rankings now, EJ. Power rankings across the board. Last week was very TNA heavy on my side, anyway. This week won't be TNA heavy because I didn't watch TNA. I didn't have time.
Watched it on my flight. It was solid. Solid
Well, not
TNA.
everybody's jet setting like you are, EJ.
Oh, that's saying the guy who just got back from Vegas and Mexico not too long ago.
I ain't been to Vegas in months.
Weeks. You was just
It was
there.
November.
And
And I was in
it's just
Mexico in
entertainment.
October.
Okay.
And I'll be in Denver this weekend.
Exactly.
That's not for me, though. It's my girlfriend's birthday. She wants to go skiing. I'm not skiing. I'm just drinking.
Hot and kettle black. But uh, number 5, I have Willow Nightingale. She advanced to the finals of this tournament who goes to the dynasty. She'll be facing Hater. I don't know who's gonna win that match. That's gonna be a good one.
I got a feeling Willow always wins tournaments. Hadn't she won like 2 of them already?
I know she won the Owen, maybe another one too. Can't remember. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was thinking Willow was gonna win with Julia Hart interference, but now that I think about it, Willow has won 2 tournaments. But my number 5, pin Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight this past week, Rhea Ripley. She's back,
Mm,
not
mm.
injured. Her face is healed. She's ready to kick ass and take names.
That injury healed hella fast. I feel like she got wrote off. She got attacked at NXT, and she's back like in 2 weeks.
She's Rhea Bloody Ripley,
Whatever.
whatever that means. My number 4 is your number 5. Finalist in the Dynasty Cup, Willow Nightingale pinned Serena Deeb clean as a whistle.
As it should be. My number 4. She's undefeated in her specialty match. I guess she took it over as her specialty match. It started off with Shane McMahon as Raw Underground for some reason. Got Lola Vice choking out Jada Parker. What do you shake your head for?
I just wasn't a fan of. Now they got to run it back.
No. You're not a fan of it because you picked Jada Parker to win. I didn't get to post it, but we made NXT picks because we didn't do it on air behind the scenes. I would have got all of them right if they didn't change the opponent on. Because if I would have knew Oba was going to be in there, of course I would have picked them. I would have went 5 or 5, but. Yeah, I knew Lola was going to win. I knew they were going 50-50 book it. But like you said, they do that for a third matchup. So I don't know when that's going to be, but yeah. You just expect that Jada just to skunk her. What does that do for Lola? Lola, your girl. Like, why would you want to see her get skunked?
Because Jada's my girl too.
Well,
Now they're both undefeated in their. Jada's undefeated in hardcore matches and Lola's undefeated in the underground.
I didn't know hardcore was a Jada Parker thing.
Yeah, she beat Michin in a hardcore match, and then she beat Lola Vice in the ECW arena. I think she's got one more win in a hardcore match too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like they keep
bricks.
They keep bringing Jada Parker like to a certain level, and then they just knock her back down. I know she's not world champion material, but she could be North American champion right now. She's still young, she's still learning, but I don't know. I think the girl's got something. She got attitude. She got a smart ass mouth. She can back it up. I like that shit. Fucking send her to the top. Putting all these fucking cookie cutters up there.
Carmen Petrovich and all of these blondes. Yeah, I mean, she could be a U.S. champion future.
And she's a powerhouse. Like she ain't no little dainty motherfucker either. Like Jada's now, relatively speaking, Jada's a big woman.
Oh yeah. You gotta kind of explain that
compared to like Lola Vice and fucking Roxy Perez and all them. Like now, she ain't a big woman. Like she's good looking. Like she's in good shape. I'm not saying she's. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. I just wanted you to explain it to the listener. I don't want anybody coming after us on Twitter with some bullshit.
All they gotta do is go to her damn Instagram. You'll see what I'm talking about. That girl ain't big. She's just bigger than the little women that they got there. But like she's, a woman, grown woman. Hi, Miss Parker.
Yeah, we've seen it many times before. Like sometimes they don't go to the very top of NXT, but then once they get to the main roster, it's all systems go. Bianca, that's like the example that I use when I mentioned it before, but we'll see. She's got, like you said, she's talented. She could go. She learned pretty fast. I think she was one of the NIL girls, so we'll see. I'm thinking they're saying like some people might come through the transfer portal from NXT. So I'm not saying she is, but I'm curious to see who they do bring if that's the case.
I don't think she's ready for the main roster just yet. Like I don't know that her act would work on the main roster, but who knows? Maybe it would. She wouldn't be able to just be running roughshod on the main roster like she is on NXT, where she's just backstage talking shit to everybody. Like she's gonna need some fine tuning on her character. But in ring, like her versus, certain people on the main roster, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I know one woman that's ready is Roxanne, so I'm
She's so small.
guessing. I mean, small girls on the Lyra Killer is small.
Yeah, what's she won?
She's about to win this damn IC title. But I knew they were gonna do Zelina dirty like that. I'm
At
tight
least she
about
didn't take
that.
the
But
pin.
so she should have won the match, but whatever. I don't know. She might be. I'm not gonna even say that. She worked hard. I don't want to, allude to her and Paul having something backstage, but they're really big on Lyra for some reason. She's good, but I don't know. I feel like the character is not all there yet. But what do I know? I'm not a booker. I'm not in their business. But your number 4 was Willow.
Mm-hmm.
I said Lola. Is it my number 3? I always mix it up. I had Lola as my number 4. So I'm on my number 3. Yeah, I'm on my number 3. I got Kyle Fletcher. He's leading the Continental Classic right now, and a win over Okada, something that you would never see back when he was in New Japan with the Aussie Open and whatnot. A win over Okada, that's major, man.
They're pushing Kyle Fletcher to the motherfucking moon. He done beat Osprey and Okada within the last month and a half.
Gotta do
And
something with
Shelton
it though.
Benjamin.
Yeah, and Shelton, you gotta do something with it though. I don't know if the kid could go. I'm not all the way there with him. I gotta see how it plays out and whatnot.
My number 3 is your new Iron Survivor champion, Obafemi.
Ooh,
He came out, he said, I don't give a fuck if Ridge wins or Trick. Then he said, and I hope it's Trick. I'm like, wait a minute, brother.
black on
What's all
black.
this? What's all
Come
this
on, man.
animosity towards each other? It be your own people sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over.
that's what
Gotta stay united.
that's where it looks like we're headed. And then my number 2, like you just said, he got a big win over Okada, which doesn't happen much. I know Okada ain't the Okada of New Japan, but yeah, my number 2 is Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher, they're doing something with him. He might just win this whole tournament. We'll see. My number 2 is your woman's Iron Survivor Challenge winner. Got Julia. Did she face Roxanne? Was that the because they did it on the opening of the CW opening and she lost.
Yep.
I think they're gonna 50-50 book it. I think the title's coming off of Roxanne and we might see her at the main roster.
I'm just Julia and Stephanie Vakir debuted too close together to each other because to me, Stephanie Vakir just out superstars Julia in every way.
I thought the other way around.
Really. I just
Yeah.
feel like Stephanie looks like a star. Her look is better, her in-ring is better. Obviously their promos are about the same, but to me, she comes off like a badass, and Julia comes off as just like this timid fucking woman that just wants to wrestle.
I think I give the look department to Julia, and I'm not saying who's prettier than the other. I'm just saying
No.
that aura to Julia, but definitely the in ring. I give to Stephanie. Her and Mercedes. That was. If I go back and probably think of the best women matches of the year, that'd probably be on the short list.
Mm.
But yeah, I think they're gonna run with Julia. Like you said, they debuted pretty close to each other, so I think they're gonna always be tied together as far as people maybe comparing. But I don't know, maybe they'll feud with each other in 2025. That'll be the feud of the year.
I noticed they made sure to post a video of Stephanie Vakir clapping for Julia when she won on WWE social media. So, like you said, maybe that's some kind of red herring that she is going to win and Stephanie's going to turn on her, and that'll be the feud going into 2025.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. My number one. I think it was your number three. I got the returning Obafemi. Oh, went over everybody in the challenge, a surprise entrance. So I think, did they say why Eddie Thorpe got taken out? Was it supposed to be storyline or was it legit?
Storyline. He hit the Rock's daughter. He didn't really
Mm.
hit her. They pushed him into her, and he got blamed for it. Shawn Michaels jumped in his face. I wonder if Shawn's apologized. Probably not. He's not good at that. Uh, Once he went back and looked at the tape and saw that it wasn't Eddie Thorpe's fault. But Shawn Michaels, like, he's never wrong. This fucking guy.
So yeah, so that's a good little, you know, cherry on top. As a tying that, I'm sure they're gonna go back to Eddie Thorpe, being unfairly taken out, and you put Oba because he was been on a break, I guess, since he lost the title to the D'Angelo family, and this was a good way to insert him back. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna see a new NXT champion for the men and women. But I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on that because I think Oba definitely is ready to be NXT champion, the continuation of the North American Championship. But then, like, what do you do with Trick Williams though if he does lose the title? Because I don't know, man. I don't know if he could put him on the main roster, but I feel like he might get lost in the sauce right now if you were to do it to have him lose the title and then go right to the main roster. He might get lost in the sauce because Carmelo's been on there for a while and he's still not quite gained his footing. So I don't know what you think about that.
I just feel like having Trick lose the title again, he'd have two of the most inconsequential title reigns of NXT champions. Like, he lost it so
Mm,
quick to Ethan Page, and then Page had it for what, 2 months? And then he just got it back like a month and a half ago. Now he's about to lose it again already. So you got two title reigns that are just less than 6 months total.
I don't know, man. Back in those, like towards the end of the Black and Gold days, with Keith Lee, didn't he have it for like 2 weeks or something crazy like that?
Yeah, he got drafted, I thought.
No. But as far as
The
like
fuck
the
is that
newer
noise? Do you
era,
hear that?
I did not hear anything. Oh, might be on your end. But I get what you're saying. But how could you deny Oba at this point, though? He's a beast.
You could have not had him win.
Well,
They could have did that.
if we're fist,
Or
we all be drunk.
yeah. Or they could just have Trick beat him.
I
Tony
mean,
D'Angelo beat him. Why can't Trick beat him?
Trick can beat him. But then, like, what are we doing? He just ran
Building up
into like
Trick.
a he just keeps running into these roadblocks now after whooping ass all the whole like 2024. Somehow he hit a wall for some reason.
Yeah, you run into a couple people that can whoop your ass too. It happens.
I can see it going two ways. Because, like I said, I don't want to see Trick on the main roster. What if he loses it and then gets it back at Stand and Deliver? Three-time champion. Has they have a three-time NXT champion yet?
What's Finn Balor, like a 2-time champion?
Yeah, he's two. It's another two-time champion that I'm forgetting about. I think it might be Adam Cole, maybe. No, it might be Gargano. Either
I
Adam
thought
Cole or
Gargano
Gargano.
only had it once. Maybe Ciampa.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might be Ciampa. But it's only been like a handful of two-time NXT champion. But maybe, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Frick being the first three-time champion. But and then another way they could go is, like you said, just have Trick beat him and maybe have Oba do something else in the meantime after that. I don't know. But I just hope they do right by both of the guys because it could go well or it could go sideways.
Yeah. My number one, EJ, didn't even wrestle this week. As a matter of fact, barely got to talk. Because they were so incredibly over with heel heat, I'm going with the New Day. Last week's turn on Big E, I didn't think would lead to this much heat. This was like Elias and Kevin Owens talking shit about Seattle Supersonics. This was like Roman coming out after WrestleMania when he beat The Undertaker. This was like Dom Mysterio for like a year straight. Like this was fuck you. We don't care what. Even Kofi was like, Kofi said, after 10 years, y'all mad over one day? We could have beat his ass. We ain't even do nothing. Couldn't even hear him saying it. I don't know. I like how they're doing the New Day right now. I like that everybody backstage is mad at them. I like that they're confused. Like, we're right though. What are y'all mad at? Like, we're telling the truth. This guy could have came back at any time and he didn't. And he waited till we got ready to break up. And now he wants to come in on a white horse.
Yeah, I didn't think they would get that much heat. And you know how my brain works. I'm like, you don't see that the most heat I could think about to that level is Dom. I'm like, is this something subliminally these crowds have against black and brown people? You don't see any other people get heat like that. But I digress. Yeah, like they wouldn't let him talk. Like that was crazy, man. And it's a good thing, though. I mean, that's the how or another spin before people saying on race baiting. Maybe Big E is just that beloved that you do something to him, can't even talk on the mic. So yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, they were chanting for Big E. They were chanting New Day sucks and we want Big E. But yeah, it was incredible.
So like I said, I don't know how they're gonna move forward. They're definitely not coming to that happy music. Are they just gonna come to no music? They came down the aisle with no music, so I wonder if they're gonna get new theme song and new gear and all of that.
They should do like a slowed down version of New Day Rocks, like a rap version.
You know, the Usos went to that. I don't even know what even it wasn't island music, but you know how their old theme songs like an instrumental, and then they came out to the 808 drums, and then eventually added rap to it. So maybe they do something like that.
Or should they mock Big E and do the "Don't you dare be sour"?
No man, that get heat too.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you got to put the tag team belts on them at this point, but I don't. They kind of got their hands tied behind their back with the Judgment Day. This got to be one of the worst tag team reigns ever. The Judgment Day. I didn't maybe during the era where I wasn't really watching, like from 06 to 2016 ish. Maybe you could think of something that was worse than this title reign as far as tag teams, but what the hell? They don't even defend the belt.
They just carry them around.
They just carry literally like props. Yeah, you gotta get those belts on the New Day, I think. Oh, I'm a stat guy. I bet you'll never guess who are multiple NXT champions. You guess one. Ciampa is definitely one, and Finn Balor. You probably won't guess the other two though.
Trick Williams.
Yeah, Trick Williams. Yeah, because he had a belt. Oh, sorry, my bad. Other four, because I was thinking it's more so the old era, but yeah, Trick Williams is one out of four.
So there's 4 total or 4 extra?
It's 6. You already guessed Ciampa and Finn Balor. You guessed Trick.
So Ciampa, Finn Balor, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker.
Yeah, you got a good memory. That's 4. It's 2 more.
Adam Cole.
Nope, I thought it was Cole too. He only one-time champion.
I'm trying to think who the champions have been lately.
It's like definitely like the prime black and gold days.
Bo Dallas.
Nah, it is. They traded back and forth. Samoa Joe and Nakamura. They traded back and forth.
Oh fuck, they did. Damn, I forgot all about that. I was gonna say Nakamura, but then I was like, nah, he only won it once because he took it from Sammy. But yeah, you're right. And then Joe took it, and then he took it back, and then Joe took it again.
So Joe took it from Balor. Yes, Nakamura took it from Joe, and Joe took it from Nakamura. Then Nakamura took it from Joe. Sami Zayn is not a champion. I thought he won
No,
a
Sami
championship
Zayn
too.
won it. He
Oh yeah,
lost
yeah,
it
yeah,
to KO.
yeah. You're right. You're right. He lost to KO.
KO.
You're right. That's it. Because Sammy got it off Pac. Yeah, he lost to KO. He only had Sammy had a terrible reign. I wasn't really watching it. He only was there. He only had it for like 2 months. That's not good.
Yeah, because Joe literally turned on him in '91.
Ah,
Yep. He won the title, and Joe beat the dog shit out. Not Joe. KO beat the dog shit out of him.
yeah. I started tuning in like late 2016. I think not Joe and that was the period when Joe and Nakamura were going at it. Those like 1 hour episodes on the network, man. Those were good, man.
Yeah. It was a good time back then. The women's division was crazy with fucking Sasha and Becky and Charlotte and even Dana Brooke and Bailey and Tennille Dashwood. She was actually good back then. Paige. Like, they had a roster back then. Summer Rae was decent back then. She wasn't just dancing around with fucking Fandango.
Yeah, they even had Natty down there.
Yeah. Well, Natty was a strong consideration for Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week this week.
I saw her backstage. Wasn't she shaking her head at New Day?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really paying attention on her clothes though. Got to go back for research purposes.
You can probably find it on the gram. Let's get to Saturday night's main event. I know we don't have all the matches, but let's go ahead and predict what we do have. We got world title matches, 3 of them, and then we got the finals for the Women's U.S. Championship match, which we don't know the participants yet, but we can speculate on who we think will win.
So, before we get into that, what do you think about Jesse, the Body Ventura commentating?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like it's like nostalgic and all that, but he hadn't been in wrestling in like 20 something years. He went into politics. He went like crazy with his political and just like stand against stuff that's going. I shouldn't say crazy, but he just went like over the top, and he's like this big conspiracy theorist. Like, I don't know. Jesse was okay as a commentator. You know, he was decent, but he wasn't one of my favorites. Like, to me, I don't know. I wasn't watching Saturday night's main event when Jesse the Body was the commentator there. I started watching Saturday night's main event when like Mickey James turned on Trish. That was the first time I remember Saturday night's main event.
For some reason, I thought that like might have hit like your very. I know you were more a WCW kid. I thought it might have hit like your very first childhood memories because that's definitely before my time. But I guess
Jesse used to commentate in WCW. Like, I grew up on him in WCW, but I never thought he was that good.
You did the perfect segue because I was going to add. So they were promoting him on the Bill Simmons podcast, him doing Saturday night's main event. He spoke about his time in WCW because, after he left WWF at the time, because, he was, speaking out about getting unionized and, he wouldn't let them jerk him around as far as pay goes. So he went over to WCW. He said, I don't know what position Eric Bischoff was in at the time, but maybe, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he said he was the one that vouched for Eric Bischoff to get the position that he did. And then later on, once Eric Bischoff brought Hulk Hogan in, Hulk Hogan was the one to get Ventura fired, and he ended up basically using his look when he turned heel, like using the bandanas and that looked for the propel like the NWO idea and whatnot. So That was interesting that he said that.
I mean, who was the guy that Hogan stole his original look from?
Graham,
Yeah,
superstar Billy
Superstar.
Graham.
So I mean, yeah, Hogan stole shit from people all the time.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, newsflash. This just in: Hulk Hogan is a huge piece of shit. More than 11.
Yeah. I
Mm,
just
mm,
thought that
mm.
was an interesting tidbit since we're talking Saturday night main event. But
Let's pick these matches then. Who do you think is gonna win the Women's United States Championship?
yeah, from what you said, looks like only 5 matches on this. I think that's gonna stay at that because WWE likes to keep a tight knit show, and like you said, they don't have who's gonna be facing off with each other, so we just gotta predict who wins it. I don't think Stratton wins if she has the case, but I might be wrong. Um, I'm gonna go Chelsea Green. Stick with our girl Chelsea Green to win the United States Women's Championship.
That's what I got also. Chelsea Green. She ain't gonna never. We ain't gonna never hear the end of that shit. I'm gonna love every second of it.
No.
She might have. She might have that motherfucker till next Friday, and somebody beat her. But she gonna talk about that shit for years.
It's being the first United States champion. I see, but Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, Women's World Championship.
I got Liv.
Yeah, Io's your girl though.
I know, but Liv's my girl too.
Is she though? You haven't put her on your street clothes in a while.
And she been wearing the same shit every week. Like, do something different.
Uh,
That shit was
it's
hot
kind
the
of.
first time, but damn, like, motherfucker get tired of the same shit every time. Change your hair color. Put some heels on.
Yeah, Liv ain't dropping it. Gunther versus Finn versus Damian Priest, and we already went into it earlier. Like, why do they have to make this a triple threat match?
I'm a big Finn. I don't know why.
Going Gunther to retain. He's gonna pin Priest. No, he's gonna pin Finn.
That'd be awful. He can't go back to the Judgment Day after getting beat.
I know that's why I changed the thing because I think Dom's gonna bring it up. Like, you talking shit about me, you just got pinned. But that'll be interesting.
He was damn sure taking shots at Dom the other night.
He's been taking shots at Dom like the past few weeks or so. I think they're maybe inching towards a split. But I can't see Dom as a face though. Too much heat. But I don't know. Seen weird things happen in wrestling. Excuse me. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. I didn't know this got announced in a singles match.
Drew McIntyre's got to win this.
Does he though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to win it because he lost the feud against CM Punk. And Sammy, he loses all the time and doesn't seem to affect how the fans like him. Then I guess it'll probably be the main event. Cody Rhodes versus KO.
You know, if they want Cody on Raw, they could have KO. Well, KO's on SmackDown, isn't he?
Yeah.
Never mind. I guess Cody will win. He shouldn't. KO should win, but I don't see Cody losing until Rock comes and takes it from him.
I know it's probably gonna happen, but I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna go KO, and he'll probably drop it back at the Rumble or the next Saturday night's main event because they're having another one in January. Like, I don't understand why they're having them so close to each other if it's supposed to be like a quarterly thing. But
Trying to get that bag, man. That's what WWE is about now. They don't give a shit. Tickets high as fuck. They pumping out all these shows. They're trying to get as much money as they can as quick as they can because TKO got to get that money back.
And you gotta, comp the shareholders and whatnot. That's what happened with UFC. All these damn shows they started putting on circa 2019 and that Devon merger. They got to get that bag. Throw all these shows on. Throw ticket prices 1,000 a pop. Y'all still gonna pay for them, like we said earlier.
Yep. That's why your boy haven't got WrestleMania tickets, because I'm in protest. I am not paying those ticket prices. Now, when I get to Vegas, it might be a different story. I might get drunk. Might get a hot hand on the roulette table. Just say fuck it. But as of right now, I'm not buying a ticket to WrestleMania in Vegas. That shit's $500 to sit at the top. We've talked about this already.
Yeah. Single day tickets haven't gone on sale yet, though, right?
I don't think they are going to put them on sale.
Really?
Don't you think they would have did it by now? Those tickets been on sale for 2 months.
That ain't wise then. If they don't have single day tickets, that's bullshit.
Maybe we ought to start tweeting at some of these news guys and asking them, like, are they gonna? What's the word?
Yeah, that's bullshit. I don't know. I don't want to go too far off on a tangent, but the word is that they're gonna put even more 2-night PLEs. I think that's not good. Like,
Yeah,
you're asking fans to fly in these cities and pay for 2 nights when they're already expensive. Like, I don't like that.
You know, Royal Rumble's gonna be 2 nights now.
Yeah,
One night for the men, one night for the women. Elimination Chamber, 1 night for the men, 1 night for the women. SummerSlam's already 2 nights. Yeah.
The only one I would kind of be intrigued about would be Survivor Series, because they might actually could put on actual traditional Survivor Series match. But all in all, no, I don't. SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I don't even think SummerSlam should be 2 nights. WrestleMania should have been, because like what makes SummerSlam different from, we talked about this already. What makes SummerSlam different from WrestleMania? You're doing 2 nights. It's just one big money grab, but they keep making money. They're gonna keep doing it. So It is what it is.
Well, I guess we're down to the NFL picks.
Indeed, we are. Week 14 results. Rucker went 9-4. I also went 9-4. See, it always usually balances out the different picks we do. It's the name of the game. Overall, I'm 133-75. Rucker is 117-91. And we're getting down
4
to
weeks to catch up.
Yeah, we're getting down to, I can't believe it's fucking week 50. It's crazy, man.
I'm so ready for the season to be over with.
Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know, they usually say when you're doing good, the season flies by. The team's been doing shitty, but it seems like the season still kind of flew by. Maybe because I got other shit going on, but I don't know. This season, it's already week 15. That's crazy.
My fantasy football weekend, I've lost, or my league that I'm the commissioner of, I've lost 3 games this year by less than a point. By like fractions of a point. I've lost 3 games. Had I just won 1 or 2 of those, I'd be in the playoffs right now. Instead, I had to play to get into the playoffs against another guy this week. He had Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua decided, I'm going to score 43 fucking points this week. He ain't played that good all year.
You should have known it. You chose the Rams to win.
Yeah, but I didn't think Puka Nacua was going to go off like that.
Well, damn.
But yeah, I made the mistake of benching Devontae Adams for Nick Chubb. That was a 19-point swing, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I still would have lost by like 4. But I needed CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson to combine for like 50 points. And it was looking good. And then all of a sudden, Cooper Rush was like, nah, I ain't throwing to CD no more. And he didn't throw to Ferguson at all, really. So what a shithole game that was last night, too. But hey, we get a higher draft stock now. More losses. Yeah. I don't cheer for them to lose. When they lose, I'm not disappointed.
Why try to pick up that ball on the bounce like that? I don't even want to get into it. Let's just get to the pick. But I do want to talk about. It's always it's interesting to me, like a Cooper Rush, a guy. I think he might have been undrafted, went to Central Michigan. Like, how did these backup quarterbacks able to like latch onto these teams for like years and years? And you got like more high profile quarterbacks that aren't in the league. I always is it because they're like low headache and we get less
Low headache,
distraction?
lower salary cap hit. Like Cooper Rush probably ain't gonna make what $2 million a year, maybe something like that, just to sit there and hold the clipboard. And uh, he's been in the system for a long time, so in theory, you're supposed to be able to just plug and play. And I mean, for the most part, like sometimes he looks good, sometimes he doesn't. Like he's a backup. But if you got a starter, like everybody's not going to have a Jameis Winston situation where you can have a guy that was a starter that's thrown like 50 touchdowns in the season as your third string. But then you see why Jameis Winston isn't a starter, right? So it's like, yeah, there's higher profile guys, but why not just go with the safer option, the cheaper option, and let's just hope our quarterback doesn't get hurt?
But if I'm like, say like a Cam Newton where he's only like 35, like you said, they're getting paid like the Cooper Rushes and quarterbacks like that. They're getting paid less. If I'm like a quarterback like that, I'll take the same pay as that, and I'm gonna.
Because he won't though. And
But then he's an
I like
asshole.
Cam. I like Cam Newton. Don't get me wrong. Like when Cam was a player, I was a big Cam Newton fan. There ain't no way Cam Newton's gonna sit on the bench, and if the starter's not performing, he's gonna be quiet about it. You're just asking for trouble in the locker room now.
And you said, and you're right. He's not probably gonna be quiet, but if I'm him, I would be quiet if even if I'm taking like a lower salary. I'm still in the league and I'm still getting paid. But maybe a guy like that, because he's got his podcast now, maybe he's making more from the podcast. And
Oh, he's definitely making more, and he's on ESPN. Like Cam's doing all right. He's making more than Cooper Rush is, and he ain't getting hit and having to go to practice every day.
yeah, but it's still like other examples where like high quarterback picks are in the league, and you see these terrible backups. I'm like, and it's not even loud mouth quarterbacks. They're like, well, they should probably still be in the league, and you got these no name quarterbacks, but like it's politics behind it, like you said. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't go too much off on a tangent. Let's get to these picks. Thursday night football. Rams in Santa Clara going against the 49ers. I have the LA Rams. LA Rams are a weird team. They're not bad, but they've got these losses. Maybe they're like close losses. I got to go back and look at them. They're above 500 now.
They can fuck around, and make the playoffs.
I know. I got the Rams. Maybe like they're
I got
peaking
the
at the right
Rams
time.
also. I like the Rams. I don't like Matthew Stafford, but I like the Rams. I like their coach. I like a lot of their players. I just don't like Stafford. But even though he's a UGA guy,
I'm about to say he was one of the best quarterbacks in Georgia history. I like how the Rams are foes of the 49ers. If you're a 49er, you're all right. Four of the 49ers, you're all right in my book. So we both got the Rams. Cowboys at Panthers. This is the first time I'm going to go with America's team. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
man, that sucked about Demarion Overshown. He's probably gonna miss all the next year too.
What was the final diagnosis?
ACL, PCL, and MCL all torn. Yeah. So
ACL
at the very earliest, he'll be back at the end of next year. But might as well just sit him the whole year, let him come back stronger in 26. That sucks too, man, because he was turning into a guy.
Yeah, that does suck, man. You hate to see it happen, but that's the game.
Yeah. I got the Cowboys. It's still the Panthers, but
Panthers are the favorite in this one.
Yeah, I thought about going to this game, but once my girlfriend decided she wanted to go to, when I say I thought about it at the beginning of the year. Once Jerry pissed me off, I decided I wasn't spending money on him. But I went to this game last year, and it was a good little trek. Drove up to Charlotte, stayed the night Saturday, went to the game, and drove back home on Sunday. Wasn't too bad, but yeah, give me the Cowboys.
feel like the Falcons game would have been easier for you to go to than.
Oh, definitely. But
yeah. You got the Cowboys, Chiefs traveling to Cleveland to face the Browns.
give me the upset. Give me Cleveland.
You a fan of Jameis for some reason? I am not going with the Browns. I'm going with Kansas City.
Kansas City's gonna come out and beat the shit out of Cleveland now that everybody's talking about how lucky they are and they can barely win. They're gonna come out and fucking win by 30.
I mean, it's week 15. They're gonna mess around and be 16-1, which is
Right.
crazy.
But they're lucky.
Like that Bills losing, that was big because like people were saying like, all right, Bills get home field. That's it for the Chiefs. I mean, they're gonna mess around and be in the Super Bowl again because like at the first half of the season, I'm like, all right, Lamar Jackson and Alabama running back. Man, why am I blanking on his name? Big kid.
Derrick Henry.
Denver Harry. Yeah, they were killing it. And, they had some losses. I don't even think they're Steelers kind of passed them in division. Bills just lost to the Rams. People were talking shit. Like, I hope the Chiefs don't get a 3P, but it might be possible. uh, Bengals going to Nashville and facing the Titans. Bengals coming off the win on our Cowboys. I don't know about this one.
This was the first time I watched Joe Burrow last night, like watched him for a whole game. He's really fucking good. Like the way he moves in the pocket, like Parsons could not. Cowboys started getting sacks towards the end, but he was just like maneuvering around the pocket and stepping up and stepping back and sliding, throwing accurate as shit. Like that's a good fucking quarterback.
Well, I'm surprised you never watched the whole Burrow game. That's not true. You watched the Super Bowl he was in against the Rams.
Eh, couldn't tell you nothing about that Super Bowl. Like I was probably drunk and sleep by halftime.
Well, I've watched a good bit of Burrow because that probably the greatest college football season ever. His last year at LSU, and then for some reason I've been, I don't watch all his games, but I've seen a good bit. He's the number one pick for a reason, man. Like you said, he's got good feet in the pocket. He's able to maneuver and get around, even after tearing his ACL his first season. So, yeah, he's a good quarterback, man. It seems like some reason they just can't get all the pieces together, but I got them in this game against the Titans.
Yeah, same.
Washington Commanders going to New Orleans to face the Saints. The
I'll take the
Aints.
Commanders.
Got the Commanders as well. Think I know where both of us going on this one. Ravens traveling in New Jersey, East Rutherford. That was it.
I don't even know which team they're playing, but I'm picking the Ravens.
They're going against the New York Football Giants. It didn't matter which one. We both got the Ravens in this one. The other New York team, the Jets, are going to play in the shit bowl in Jacksonville against the con team and the Jaguars.
I'll take Jacksonville.
I don't want to take the Jets, but they're both terrible. I'll go with the home team. Dolphins traveling to Houston, H-Town, to face the Texans. Give me Houston.
I'm gonna take Dolphins.
Indianapolis traveling down, well, traveling up, or I guess sideways. I don't know. To go face the Broncos, whatever geographical direction it's in.
I'll take Denver. Denver's been pretty good, man. They might end up in the playoffs.
They're in a sneaky,
Yeah.
they've been them sneaking wins, and like you said, they're gonna fuck around and get in the playoffs. Maybe Sean Payton is a good coach. I got Broncos as well. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm surprised this ain't the Sunday night football game. Bills traveling to Detroit, Ford Field, to face the Lions.
Bills with 2 losses in a row because I got Detroit.
I got the Lions as well. I mean, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, though, they really fumbling the ball. No pun intended. Oh, this is an interesting one too. Steelers. This is a intrastate battle. Steelers traveling right down the road to Philadelphia. I think I know you got.
I hate both of these teams equally. I'll take the Eagles.
Man, I thought you was gonna let Russ cook.
That is my boy.
Man, I'm torn on this one. I'm gonna go. I just got to side with Vegas on this one. I'm gonna go with Eagles as well. It's an interesting one though. Patriots traveling all the way to Glendale, Arizona to face the Cardinals. I have the Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals too. I don't even know what the Cardinals are doing this year. Like, what's their record? They 500?
No, they're not. They're 5-7.
Mm.
Like I already told you how I feel about small quarterbacks, but I feel like how come Kyler Murray seems to escape criticism? If this was Dak, people would be about to blow their gaskets.
I mean, he doesn't play for Dallas.
That's true. But
Now,
still.
I think, since you brought up Dak, I think people completely ignore the fact that Dak was a 4th-round pick and like worked his ass off to become as good as he is. But people look past that and just say, "Oh, he can pay $60 million." You got to remember, like, you draft this guy with your 2nd pick in the 4th round. He wasn't even the 1st pick. Like, he was a project. That's the fucking success story. But then you got all these other people that they compare him to. They compare him to Joe Burrow and Mahomes and all these other guys. And I'm like, these motherfuckers were 1st round and number 1 overall picks. Like, what? They seem to escape the criticism, even though they came in with higher expectations than he does. Because I feel like Josh Allen never gets. I mean, he's having a great year this year, but Josh Allen's a turnover machine. And I feel like he never got criticized. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl his 2nd year, so that gave him time to just fucking, yeah, that gave him uh, a minute to fuck up, and people could still be like, yeah, but he was just in the Super Bowl with the Bengals. Like, who the fuck takes the Bengals to the Super Bowl? That's almost like winning the Super Bowl with a good team. So, yeah, Kyler Murray plays for the fucking Cardinals. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah. Bucks at Chargers. That would be a pretty good game.
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Last week I did a couple picks just to go against the grain to see what happened, but I'm not doing that this week. I'm going with Chargers. I think we might have different picks on this one though. Sunday Night Football. Packers traveling to Seattle to face the Seahawks.
I will take the Seahawks.
And I was correct because I am taking the Packers in this one. 2 Monday Night Football games, which is weird to me. Why you be cutting your ratings because they're gonna be on at the same time. First up, we got Bears at Vikings. Give me Vikings.
Same.
Dirty Birds traveling to Las Vegas.
They're gonna lose to the Raiders.
You got
Trash.
Raiders. You are not a fan of picking the Falcons. I do have the Falcons in this one though. The Raiders are not good.
Neither are the Falcons.
Falcons they had a decent record.
They've lost 4 in a row since they played Dallas. Kirk Cousins has not thrown any touchdowns and 7 interceptions in the past 4 games.
Yeah, but the Raiders are just that bad. So
This is a get-right game for the Raiders.
We'll see. I doubt it, but no more bye weeks. That brings us to the end of the picks.
And it brings us to the end of the show.
Indeed.
Shows are gonna get a lot shorter when we're done with these football picks.
Yeah.
We've been
Football
done
picks.
20 minutes ago. We ain't have to talk about football. I mean, we don't have to talk about football anymore. The Cowboys are out of it. Who gives a shit?
Yes. We got billions of people that tune in every week say otherwise, but
Yeah, they're using our picks to go win money in Vegas. They're picking against whoever I pick every week on the money line. Now, you give me 6 points, I'll go 11-0. But you got anything you want to say if we get out of here, EJ?
We gave y'all an extra long episode this week. And yeah, just continue to listen. Run those numbers up, man. We're trying to quit our day jobs.
Big time. Well, this has been another great episode of Boot to the Face. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody that's listened. Please share, follow, and like. Tell your friends about it. And until next week, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in